We've got some fresh images of 3 Atlas, a third ever interstellar object observed from Earth, currently racing through our solar system. Now, astronomers have captured that moment live, streaming in real time around the globe of them watching all of this. Take a look at this. NASA's statement sent shock waves through the scientific community. The exterior surface shows geometric patterns inconsistent with natural formation. This was the bombshell announcement that changed everything we thought we knew about 3I Atlas. The mysterious interstellar object wasn't just strange. According to the latest analysis, its outer shell appears manufactured. This interstellar traveler was supposed to be a simple comet, a dirty snowball reflecting the sun's rays. But the latest high-resolution images show something else entirely. Instead of the random cratered surface of a natural object, NASA scientists are reporting structured features that shouldn't exist in nature. Its surface topology is too precise. The reflectivity patterns too uniform. According to Harvard's Avi Lobo, we are not looking at a random space rock. We're looking at an object that appears to have been constructed, and it's flying a very deliberate path through our celestial backyard. An artificial shell around 10 gigawatt of mystery. Something truly bizarre is flying through our solar system. On July 1, 2025, an automated telescope system called ATLAS, short for Astroterrestrial Impact Last Alert System, pinged an alert. It had spotted our third ever interstellar visitor, an object from another star system, and it was given the designation 3 Atlas. At first, the world of astronomy breathed a collective sigh of relief. Unlike the weird cigar-shaped Oumuamua, this one looked like a regular comet. It had a fuzzy glow around it, a coma, which is exactly what you'd expect from a giant ball of ice and dust getting closer to the sun. The ice warms up, turns to gas, and creates a beautiful halo. Case closed, right? Wrong. The thing nobody tells you is the more we looked, the less sense it made. Many people are crazy about space, but even for seasoned astronomers, what came next was a shocker. When NASA's imaging teams processed the data and NASA made their stunning admission, everything changed. The surface characteristics didn't match any known comet or asteroid. There were repeating patterns, symmetrical features, surface elements that appeared machined rather than naturally weathered. This was the first major red flag. But then came the light itself. Avi Loeb, the former chair of Harvard's astronomy department, and his colleague took a deep dive into the numbers, analyzing the brightness profile of this strange glow. What they found was jaw-dropping. The light from the coma faded incredibly steeply, much faster than the light from any known comet. You see, not all things are what they seem. Loeb realized the steep light curve pointed to one unbelievable conclusion. The sun wasn't the primary source of illumination. The object was lighting up the dust cloud from within. It was generating its own light, and the amount of power required was astronomical. Loeb calculated the object was glowing with a continuous output of 10 gigawatt. To put that in perspective, that's the energy equivalent of 10 full-scale nuclear power plants running at maximum capacity here on Earth. This isn't a faint flicker. It's a colossal beacon of energy in the cold darkness of space. This single fact completely flips the script. If it's making its own light, then the initial size estimates were all wrong. The original model based on reflected sunlight suggested 3I Atlas was enormous, maybe 12 miles across, twice the size of the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs. An object that big is incredibly rare. But if it has an internal reactor contained within an artificial shell, Loeb's calculations suggest the object itself could be tiny, perhaps smaller than 300 feet across. A small constructed vessel producing that much energy is, scientifically speaking, unheard of in nature. NASA's admission that the exterior appears artificial suddenly made the energy readings make sense. We simply don't know of any natural process that allows a 100-meter rock to generate the power of a small nation. But an engineered craft with an advanced power system, that's a different story entirely. The mystery only deepens from here. But its impossible energy source and artificial exterior weren't the only secrets it was hiding. A path of purpose. When an object travels for millions or even billions of years between the stars, you'd expect its path to be random. It should come in at any old angle from any direction. But 3 Atlas is different. Its trajectory is suspiciously neat. The thing is, it's traveling within the ecliptic plane, the flat pancake-like disk where all the planets in our solar system orbit. The odds of a random interstellar object lining up so perfectly with our planetary plane are incredibly low, something like a 1 in 500 chance. It's like throwing a dart from across a football field and having it land perfectly flat on the 50-yard line. It's possible, sure, but it's eyebrow-raisingly precise. But the coincidences don't stop there. The path of 3 Atlas seems almost like a guided tour of our solar system. After swinging by the Sun, its trajectory is set to take it remarkably close to several key planets. On October 3, 2025, it will have a blind date with Mars, passing within 18 million miles. This is close enough for the HiRISE camera on the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter to get our best images yet of the artificial exterior NASA has identified. Then it continues on its journey set for a close approach with Jupiter. Avi Loeb describes this trajectory as fine-tuned and deliberate. He raises a chilling possibility. What if this path wasn't an accident? What if the object is mapping our system, observing our planets, or even deploying smaller probes? The idea sounds like science fiction, but when combined with NASA's admission of an artificial exterior, the orbital mechanics become impossible to ignore. This is where the story gets even stranger. The James Webb Space Telescope made another bizarre discovery. The gas cloud around 3 Atlas is made almost entirely of carbon dioxide with very little water. For a normal comet, this ratio is paradoxical. This unusual chemistry combined with NASA's revelation about the artificial surface adds yet another layer to the mystery. Some scientists argue this just means it formed in a very different kind of star system. But Loeb offers a more provocative explanation. What if the object is exactly what NASA's analysis suggests? A spacecraft, and the glow is its nuclear engine burning off a thin layer of interstellar dust and grime that has accumulated over its long journey. The CO2 could be part of this cosmic dust reacting with the artificial hull, not the core composition of the object itself. The evidence is mounting that we are dealing with something far outside our normal experience. So if NASA is right about the artificial exterior, what could it possibly be? Breaking down the theories. So what is the truth about 3I Atlas? The scientific community is deeply divided. On one side you have astronomers who initially urged caution. They argued that we were witnessing a natural, albeit very strange comet. The universe is a big place and we shouldn't be surprised to find objects from other star systems that don't conform to our local rules. But NASA's admission about the artificial appearance of the exterior has shifted the conversation dramatically. Even skeptics now admit the surface characteristics are deeply anomalous. They suggest we need more data before jumping to conclusions, but they can no longer dismiss the artificial hypothesis outright. They correctly point out that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and NASA's analysis is providing exactly that. On the other side is Avi Loeb leading a group of scientists who believe NASA's admission confirms what they've been arguing all along. He argues that the artificial exterior combined with the internal power source makes the spacecraft explanation the most logical conclusion. The list of anomalies is just too long to ignore. The constructed shell NASA identified, the internal power source, the precise trajectory, the lack of a cometary tail, the strange chemical signature. Loeb isn't saying it's definitely an alien spacecraft anymore. With NASA's data, he's saying the evidence is becoming overwhelming. He created something called the Loeb scale to rank interstellar objects. The truth is, we're closer to knowing than ever before, but the upcoming close pass with Mars could provide definitive proof. The high-resolution images from the HiRISE camera might finally be able to examine the artificial features NASA has identified in unprecedented detail. Will we see geometric panels, seams, or construction joints? Or will we find a natural explanation that makes the manufactured appearance make sense? It's a question that hangs over all of us as we look up at the stars, wondering what's out there. The answer might just be looking back, a message in our DNA. Let's push the boundaries even further. We've been looking for radio signals, for messages carved into asteroids, for some kind of cosmic hello. But what if we've been thinking about it all wrong? What if an advanced civilization isn't interested in talking? The thing is, what if they're interested in building? This leads to one of the most incredible and unsettling theories about 3 Atlas. What if that artificial shell NASA identified is housing a 10-gigawatt power source that isn't an engine for moving the object, but a factory for making something? This is where Avi Loeb issues a profound warning. We could be misinterpreting a biological event as a physical one. The theory suggests 3 Atlas is a panspermia probe, a cosmic seed ship with a manufactured exterior designed to withstand millions of years of interstellar travel. You see, for decades, scientists have kicked around the idea of panspermia, the concept that life on Earth may have originated from microorganisms that drifted here from space, perhaps on a comet or asteroid. But this new theory takes it a giant leap forward. This wouldn't be accidental. It would be directed panspermia. An ancient hyper-advanced civilization could have built fleets of these automated probes, cosmic gardeners designed to travel the galaxy and seed promising worlds with the building blocks of life. NASA's identification of an artificial exterior suddenly makes this theory far more plausible. That impossible glow. It might not be heat and light from a nuclear reactor, but the bioluminescence and energy signature of a massive biological manufacturing process happening inside the constructed shell. The probe could be using its power source to assemble complex amino acids, proteins, or even self-replicating nanites from the simple atoms it collects in interstellar space. The strange carbon dioxide-rich cloud might not be dust. It could be the nutrient medium or waste product of this process. It could be releasing clouds of these engineered microscopic organisms designed to thrive in a variety of environments, from the thin atmosphere of Mars to the oceans of a moon like Europa and even here on Earth. But not all things are what they seem. Many people get excited about the idea of discovering alien life. But Loeb's warning is stark. This wouldn't be a discovery. It would be an arrival. An engineered organism from another biosphere could be totally incompatible with our own. It could be an invasive species on a planetary scale. A microscopic competitor that our native biology has no defense against. It could rewrite our planet's ecosystem from the ground up. Not with malice but simply by being more efficient. We're looking for little green men. But the real alien invasion might be happening at a level we can't even see. Delivered by a craft with an artificial exterior that NASA has now publicly acknowledged. What if it's not seeding life but programmed to end it? Triggering the Great Filter. There's a dark and chilling concept in cosmology known as the Great Filter. It's the idea that there's some kind of barrier or challenge that prevents civilizations from becoming interstellar. Maybe it's nuclear war or climate change or something we can't even imagine. But a terrifying new theory amplified by Avi's warnings and now supported by NASA's admission of an artificial exterior suggests the filter isn't something we do to ourselves. It's a test that comes to us from the outside and we may have just failed it. This theory reframes 3 Atlas not as a scout or a gardener but as a sentinel, a cosmic tripwire, a doomsday machine with a manufactured hull. And the thing that set it off, us. Think about it like this. For millions of years this object drifted silently through space, dormant and dark. Then it enters our solar system and suddenly flares to life, glowing with the power of 10 nuclear reactors. Why now? The chilling answer might be that it detected us. It registered the radio waves from our planet, the heat signature of our cities, or maybe even the light from our telescopes observing it. In this scenario, the object is a Berserker probe, a concept from science fiction that has gained traction among some thinkers. It's an autonomous weapon with an artificial shell designed by a long-dead civilization to seek out and eliminate any potential competitors. Its programming is simple: find emerging technological life and snuff it out before it can be. By studying it, by shining our light on it, we may have triggered its final protocol. The pieces breaking off from the main body aren't just debris. They are independently targeted projectiles with their own artificial casings. The deliberate trajectory towards Mars and Jupiter now looks less like a survey and more like a strategic move to get better targeting angles on the entire inner solar system. NASA's admission that the exterior appears artificial may be the most important announcement in human history, or it may be our final warning. Is 3 Atlas a messenger from another civilization with a manufactured hull? Or are we misinterpreting the most advanced natural object we've ever encountered? What do you think NASA's admission really means? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more cosmic mysteries.